Now, who the hell is the best team in the NFC? Just like the AFC video you may have already seen, we're 6 weeks into the season, and there's been no team to really establish themselves as the clear favorite in this conference either. You don't believe me? Let's just go through the entire conference, shall we? In the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles, they've beaten some really good teams, the Rams, the Chiefs, the Bucs, but they also just lost by 3 scores to the New York Giants and are having issues on both sides of the ball. If you want to call them the favorites because they're still the defending champs, that's fine. I can't do it. It's just not great football right now, okay? The Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels is back healthy, but a bad loss at home to Chicago. Terry's injury is concerning. Defense ain't great. It's not them either. The Cowboys, Dak and Pickens are balling right now, but the defense is bad. You just lost to the Panthers. It's not you either. And the Giants, listen, Jackson Dart and Cam Scatteraboo look great. Defensive line looks good. Future looks bright, but no way in hell are the New York Giants contenders this year. It's not happening, okay? In the NFC North, the Packers look great the first 2 weeks, and they've looked mediocre the last 3. They're literally 1-1-1. I don't know how you get more mediocre than that the last 3 weeks versus mediocre opponents. The Detroit Lions got smoked by the 2 best teams that they played, Green Bay and the Chiefs, so it's hard to say that it's them. The Vikings quarterback is a huge question mark right now with either J.J. McCarthy or Carson Wentz. I can't put them as the favorites. The Bears are looking better, but I can't shake their first 2 games either. They were so bad, I can't shake them. It's not them either. In the South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, if you want to say it's them, I'm not mad. They're tied for the best record in football at 5-1, but I'm still not completely sold. Baker's been having to absolutely backpack this team every single game. All these game-winning drives are not sustainable, plus a lot of injuries and a leaky defense. I don't know. I'm still concerned with the Tampa Bay Bucs. The Falcons are looking better, but they're just not good enough yet to make a real Super Bowl push. The Panthers are looking better, definitely not good enough yet to make a Super Bowl punch. The Saints, shout out to Spencer Rattler, but no. In the West, the Los Angeles Rams, they've looked great, but a couple of really bad losses where they self-destructed versus the Eagles and versus the Niners. It's hard to shake for me. The Niners, too many damn injuries. I don't know how many they're going to have to overcome. I don't know how they're going to overcome this Fred Warner injury. It's not them either. The Seahawks have looked really good on both sides of the ball, but Baker shredded them in Seattle, and although Darnold looks good, I want to see more. I don't think it's them either. And the Cardinals are super banged up and great at beating themselves, not so much the other team. So again, if some raging, gambling lunatic broke into my room and said you have to put your entire life savings on one NFC team to make the Super Bowl, this time with a little bit of hesitation, I'm going to grab my phone, go to my gambling app of choice, and bet that money on the Los Angeles Rams. To me, the Los Angeles Rams issues are the most solvable at this point of anybody else in the conference. Their offense and defense are both really good. I love the quarterback. I love the coach. I love the weapons. It seems like Puka's injury isn't super serious, which is really big for them. It might looked a little bit more serious than it actually is, so that's good. And to me, the Philly loss and the Niners loss both felt a little bit fluky. Bunch of block kicks versus the Eagles. I thought they were the better team most of that game. And then obviously same with the Niners. Thought their own mistakes beat them in that one. Turnovers, missed kicks, drops, stuff that they can correct. So again, if you force me to pick a squad in the NFC right now, I think the best team in the NFC is the Rams. But again, I don't really love any of these teams in the NFC at this point because all of them have their flaws. So now I got to kick it to these guys. Who is the best team in the NFC right now?
It's so weird right now. So weird right now in the NFL. There's so many teams
bizarre that
are just like it's so tight. I have a stat for you guys that I found so incredibly interesting. You know, the Atlanta Falcons have a top 3 total defense, a top 10 scoring defense, and a top 3 total offense. Somehow, some way, they are second in that division. And you want to know why?
Michael Penix Jr. Sorry, clearing my throat.
Baker freaking Mayfield. I don't know what it is this year about Baker Mayfield. There's something about him this year that feels different. The moxie, the clutchness, but the team overall is not wowing you. And yet they are right now the class of the NFC. So should I pick the Buccaneers? I'm not going to, because there's still a lot about that defense that I'm worried about. And quite frankly, injuries right now for the Buccaneers, as well as another team that I'm about to mention, really, really makes me hesitant to pick them. The Lions. The Lions, in my opinion, right now, have the best overall roster construction in the entire NFL. That is my opinion on the Detroit Lions right now. Offensively, they got studs like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams, and a solid QB, the most accurate QB in the league, Jared Goff. And then you have on the defensive side of the ball, Brian Branch, who's going to punch Juju in the face, right? You got Aiden Hutchinson. And when they're healthy, you have a solid secondary with a great pass rush. But that's the problem with the Lions. They can't seem to stay healthy, can they? Which brings me to my real pick, to toot Matt's horn, I still think the Los Angeles Rams should be the favorites to get out of the NFC. I think they have the offense. I think their defense is still fantastic. Now, Puka Nacua is out, and I am not worried. You want to know why I'm not worried? Because Sean McVay and Matt Stafford are still at the helm, and they're going to find a receiver that they really like. It could be Tutu Atwell. It could be Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
They're probably going to abuse him to hell, feed him the ball constantly. I just believe right now, top to bottom, the most well-rounded roster in the NFL, a team that can beat you in multiple ways. It could be a shootout. It could be ugly. Does not matter. I think the Rams are built for every single type of game. With the Eagles, I'm worried about it if it turns into a shootout because I don't trust that offense. With the Packers, same thing. I don't know if I trust that offense right now, right? The Lions, can they stay healthy? The Buccaneers, how much longer are they going to win one-possession games, right? With the Niners, they're a hospital right now. If I'm being honest, the Rams, to me, still, to this point, are the favorites in the NFC. I'm picking them still to make this Super Bowl. It's going to be Rams-Bills in February.
Yeah, obviously I agree. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm such a big Matthew Stafford fan, like especially in big moments and clutch moments. Like it always seems like that's when he's at his best. And that's what makes the decision on Thursday Night Football to run the ball in that 4th and 1 even more egregious with Kyren Williams, where against the Niners, where he ended up fumbling. And it's like, dude, you got Matthew Stafford and 2 of the best receivers in football. Like put it in their hands and see if they can win the football game. And those are things that I think they are going to correct. I don't think Sean McVay is going to make that same mistake twice. And I think they're going to be able to, learn from those mistakes and move on. And we've seen them obviously in previous years have a lot of success, especially in the playoffs. We saw them push the Eagles to the brink. They were the only team to even get close to the Eagles last year. And I think their team's even better this year. So yeah, I'm sticking with the Rams as well. But Joe, we got to hear from you, bro. Who is the best team in the NFC?
I'm a big Matthew Stafford fan as well, but the Rams are not my pick, and they will not be my pick. I love me some Baker Mayfield. Yeah, I really do. Baker Mayfield is balling out. However, there are 6 teams that have allowed 150 points or more. Do you know how many wins most of those teams have? No more than 2.
Yeah, 1 or 2. Yeah.
The only team to allow 150 or more points and have more than 2 wins is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 5-1, and it comes down to one man, Baker Mayfield. And he is playing out of his mind, but he puts himself in a lot of risky situations.
He does.
He is a tough guy, but one bad hit, this season's done. They have a lot of injuries, and they're going to get a lot of those guys back. I know Mike Evans is supposed to be coming back, but soft tissue injuries for a wide receiver linger. Ishbuka just got one, hamstring. You're playing with wide receiver 5, 6, and 7 right now. I don't think they have the tight end to keep up with some of these other teams. They're kind of missing that. Rashad White's a really good RB2, but you don't really see anything out there except for Baker Mayfield. Which brings me to my pick. I am going to go in the NFC West, but I'm going to go with a team that has played really well on special teams, has played pretty well on defense, and is led by a man named Sam Dollar Bill Darnold.
Wow.
I am going Seattle. I am in wholly on the 12th man there in Seattle. We are going to win this we're going to the Super Bowl, and I think that the NFC's got it this year. I think that they have all the teams that we've talked about in the NFC have a better overall rounded team, and they have less questions. You have a star wide receiver 1 in JSN. Kevin Walker is healthy, and when he's healthy, that team is different. Sam Darnold is playing out of his mind. It was not a fluke. He is not a system quarterback. He plays well, and you see the things that made the Jets draft him. Good systems, good coaches bring out good qualities and good quarterbacks. And that is why Sam Darnold is absolutely going to take the Seattle Seahawks back to the Super Bowl this year.
Wow. Unbelievable. I love it. I was big on That was a bar. I was big on the Seahawks preseason too. I had them in the playoffs, and then the Packers traded for Micah Parsons, and that kind of adjusted all of my playoff rankings. But I love the Seahawks pick. They might be playing the best football in the NFC. The problem with what you just said is you had that whole spiel about Baker Mayfield being amazing and this and that, and Baker went into Seattle and put up 38 points on that Seahawks defense in Seattle.
You're not wrong.
It's hard for me to.
Losses have come by a combined 7 points.
Yeah, no, they've been the best team on the field the majority of the games that they've been in, and even the game that they lost to against the loss against the 49ers. Kind of a fluky game at the end where Darnold has a chance and then gets strip sack at the end.
They had a chance against the Bucs. It was just a couple bad plays. I mean, you looked at that game and you saw where Sam Darnold just made a bad decision. You know, it was a bad throw. He had a better read. He could have did something a little different. And that's what it comes down to in football sometimes when you're playing good teams, which the 49ers at the week one were a good team. Injuries have limited them. You look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs last, 2 weeks ago, that was a really good game. That was probably the best. Mm-hmm. That was probably the game of the week, in all honesty. And
for sure.
Possible, NFC championship game sort of feel to it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what you're seeing there. So, I mean, that's kind of what I'm seeing when you look at who they have faced when they come in. Obviously, the Cardinals game, the Cardinals played them tough, but Cardinals have talent. Like, we're not saying they don't. They just beat themselves a lot. The Steelers, who are, leading their division, they cooked them, which we expected them to do. They beat the Saints handedly. The Jaguars, who just went in the week before and, beat Kansas City, they handled them this weekend 20-12. So, I mean, they're playing playoff caliber teams pretty consistently when you look across their things, because no one's guessing the Steelers. Steelers are making the playoffs. They're going to win that division. The 49ers at week one, they were a playoff contender. You look at the Bucs. Yeah. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, they look it, so I mean, they're a wild card team. So they're really looking at it. And then when they go to the Houston Texans this week, that's another possible playoff team. So they've had a pretty rough schedule so far, and they've come out at 4-2 with a combined 7-point total in their losses. Like, I will take this every day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, no, I love the Seahawks. It's a team that I love preseason, and there were people who weren't high on them preseason. I was like, I don't know what these guys are.
It was the Sam Darnold thing. We didn't know we were getting.
Yeah, that's fair. And, we've only seen them be good with Kevin O'Connell before this year. So I guess that's fair. But I was just like, man, I really like this supporting cast that Seattle has. I like Clint Kubiak being in there. This defense is going to be unbelievable this year. And it's turned out that way. So like Sammy was talking about with the Rams, I think that the Seahawks have a number of different ways they can win games too, because of that defense, because of they have two really good running backs, like you mentioned, Kenneth
special
Walker
teams.
And Zach Charbonnet in the backfield. They have special teams
Torrey
as well,
Horton.
where they can Torrey Horton, we saw them block punts against the Saints as well, and then obviously Sam Darnold can, go up top to JSN and just make plays and have sustained drives going down the field. So yeah, the Seattle Seahawks, man, I do not mind that pick. The Seahawks are definitely going to be in playoff contention, and who knows, maybe they could be in Super Bowl contention, but I still think it's the Los Angeles Rams in the NFC.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.